After food, shelter is the most important need of man. Men construct houses and develop settlements to protect themselves against the extremities of climate and to enjoy social life. In fact, settlement is man's important step towards adapting himself to his physical environment. Settlements are defined as a permanent collection of houses and buildings with inhabitants. If you observe a group of settlements from an aeroplane or from a mountain top, you can see that there exists a typical shape. This typical shape of a settlement in totality, we will call it as settlement pattern. These type of patterns you can identify in a topographical map also. We can see that individual dwellings of a settlements are organized themselves to form a typical shape. Such spatial alignment and spatial arrangement are called as settlement pattern in settlement geography. Some of the common geometrical patterns of settlements are discussed in this module. The term settlement pattern deals with compact settlements only. The dispersal settlements are not having such a shape or alignment. It is very difficult to derive a comprehensive pattern for a scattered settlement because they are located far apart. The site of the village and surrounding topography influence the shape and size of the settlement. We can observe that pattern of a settlement is the result of a series of adjustment with the environment for centuries. Moreover, socio-cultural factors such as religion, caste, beliefs, etc. also plays a crucial role in the settlement pattern. The functional needs of the people also affect the pattern of dwellings. In valleys and mountainous areas, settlements are generally linear, while in fertile plains, their shape may be in rectangular. Near the lakes and ponds, their shape may be in circular. In this module, we are going to discuss different geometrical patterns of settlements and also different geographical factors led to their development. The geometrical pattern of a settlement is largely determined by the nature of the site of the settlement. Settlements just do not grow everywhere. The physical features of a region attract or distract the growth of human settlements. For example, in flood-prone areas, most of the settlements tend to look for dry areas. They are called as dry point settlements. In Assam Valley, a number of dry point settlements are seen either side of river Brahmaputra. In dry areas, people try to settle near the sources of water. They are called as wet point settlements. They are most common in deserts. Oases are good examples. Some people consider the elevated hilly regions are more comfortable for settling from defensive point of view. Such settlements are called as defense point settlements. The settlements found in Naga Hills and Mizo Hills or settlements in eastern highlands are typical examples for defensive settlements. In urban areas, more settlements are found to be concentrated along crossroads. Such settlements are known as nodal point settlements. All these discussions show that the nature and characteristics of a settlement is designed or determined by the site and situation. Both physical as well as cultural factors influence the geometrical pattern of a settlement. If the living conditions are most ideal, settlements are found to be heaped together. In fertile plains, the places with abundant source of water, dwellings are placed close together. Such dense settlements are known as nucleated settlements. They are also called as compact settlements. Nucleated settlements are characteristic features of cities mainly. On the other hand, if the terrain is not hospitable, houses are placed wider apart. Such sparsely distributed dwellings are called dispersed settlements. In some places, certain groups of people tend to be lived in small groups. They are known as fragmented settlements. Fragmented pattern is most common in tribal areas. Compaction is mainly the result of human tendency to live together. Compact settlements are found in both rural and urban areas. In most cases, it is a combination of several factors that shape a compact settlement for a region. In a rural economy, agriculture is the most prominent activity of the people. Here, most of the settlements are built in the center of the agricultural land. In order to avoid wastage of cultivable land, people settle together very closely. As the agrarian economy demands more labor force and more frequent interaction of farmers with the field, compact settlements are found to be more ideal. Fertility of the soil and availability of water also a decisive factor of nucleation in agricultural areas. Perception of people towards security of life and property is also an important factor of settlements. People decide to live together in order to ensure mutual safety. Areas affected by poor state of law and order or areas suffering from intergroup clashes are also preferring compact nucleated settlements from safety point of view. Generally, dispersed settlements are found in the areas where the conditions are just opposite to nucleated settlements. If the topography is rugged and conditions are not favorable, the settlements will be scattered. Here, the physical environment is not at all hospitable and there are very little factors of nucleation. For nucleation, there should be a level plain to the growth of settlements. Lack of enough level surfaces in mountainous areas, nucleation is not possible and settlements are found isolated. The areas of abundant rainfall and plenty of water show settlements with high degree of dispersal. If the size of land holdings are large in size, people settle in the center of the farm in order to look after it properly. In such areas, dispersed settlements are found in common. Regions enjoying high degree of social security and people perceive little danger to their life and property also have dispersed settlements. There are special type of settlements called fragmented settlements. In these type of settlements, presence of a number of clusters of houses are found. They are located in an area at a particular distance. Each cluster is a form of a nucleated settlement, but when considering the distance between clusters, they are dispersed in nature. There are a number of factors affecting the fragmentation of settlements. Growth of a settlement to a very large size often leads to fragmentation. In the case of growing size of settlements, the internal circulation becomes very difficult. In such cases, some of the families may decide to leave the main settlement and settle somewhere at a particular distance. Fragmentation can be a result of prevailing social segregation also. In such cases, settlement grows in the form of a number of clusters from its inception. Strong belief in religions and prevalence of caste system is also leads to the formation of fragmented settlements. We have semi-clustered settlements also. In this type of settlement, the built-up area is less compact as compared to the clustered settlement. That is why it is called as semi-clustered settlement. It may be a result of segregation or fragmentation of a large compact village. Some sections of a village or some people of the society choose or forced to live a little away from the main cluster. This will lead to the formation of a semi-clustered settlement. Next type of settlement what we can see in rural areas are hamleted settlements. When a large settlement gets fragmented into several smaller units, physically separated from each other, but bears a common name, it forms a hamleted settlement. It occurs due to social and ethnic factors. These small units of settlements, that is hamlets, are known as in different names in different parts of the country. Hamlets are known as Panna, Para, Palli, Nagla, Dhana, etc. Such settlements are found in Ganga plains, lower valleys of Himalaya and some interior part of eastern hilly regions of India also. If a settlement stretch proceeds along a linear feature, they are called linear settlements. Such settlements are found along roadsides, riversides, railway tracks and sea coasts. In such patterns, dwellings are built very close to these linear features. When we observe from a higher elevation, it resembles like a line. Most of the settlements in mountainous regions also tend to be linear in pattern. These settlements occupy a linear pattern along the valley side slopes. In certain areas, the linear pattern of settlements got some modifications and it will become L shape, T shape and even star shape. T and L patterns develop generally along road junctions. The confluence of two linear settlements result to these T and L patterns. In such cases, two lines of houses will meet at the point where two roads or two rivers meet together. The convergence of number of transportation routes with settlements produce a confluence of settlements in star shape. This star shaped pattern is the main feature of the city center. They are also known as nodal location pattern. Rectangular pattern of settlements are found mainly in farming communities. In vast and extensive farmlands, people tend to be settled in the center as a rectangular shaped settlement. In farming societies, they consider the straight line boundaries of croplands as most important for tilling. If the farm is in a straight line boundary and with right angles, there will not be much wastage of time and effort for tilling. In that cases, if farmers are settling in the center of the agricultural land, boundary of settlements are also should be in straight line. Thus, the pattern becomes square or a rectangle. This pattern is most common in rural settlements of North Indian plain. Triangular shaped settlements reflect the nature of site occupied by the settlement. Typical examples of such patterns are found mainly in the confluence of two river tributaries to join a main stream. A settlement formed between the triangle of a river confluence will not be able to grow across the river barrier. Only possible growth is towards the river bank in the upstream direction. Thus, the shape of the settlement resembles a triangle. Settlements in Allahabad between Ganga and Yamuna forms the triangular pattern. In some areas, confluence of railway tracks also leads to the formation of triangular patterned settlements. Circular pattern of settlements can be the product of natural factors or security reasons. Many settlements in flood-prone areas prefer elevated regions. In such cases, people select and settle some top of the mountains. With the further growth, they grow in circular direction along the hilltop. A number of concentric rings are thus formed along the hill slopes. The settlement around the lake, or a settlement around a pond, or a settlement around a desert oasis are also will be in a circular pattern. In some places, settlements are developed around the centers of worships like temple or a church or a mosque also forms a circular pattern. In certain regions, nebular shaped pattern of settlements are also developed. Star-like settlements develop on the sites and places where several metalled and unmetalled roads converge. In the star-shaped pattern, houses spread out along the all sides and all directions from the city center. But in the central part, concentration will be more. This pattern is most common in the cities where settlements are spreading out from city center to different directions through roads. Human settlements may be arranged randomly, uniformly, or in a clustered pattern according to nature of the site. The distribution of settlements is directly influenced by regional topography. In the areas of irregular terrain, settlements are found to be scattered. People are selective in those areas. They try to settle in most ideal places only. Such settlements are following a random pattern. If there is a fertile plain, the farmers are most likely to settle there. In such areas, settlement pattern will be clustered. In urban centers also, clustered pattern is found. But in some places, uniform pattern of settlements are also formed. In the regions of uniform fertility and level terrain, the spacing between settlements are kept almost uniform. Uniform pattern of settlements can be found in planned settlements also. Thus, it can be concluded that settlement refers to a group of houses or buildings with inhabitants. Settlement is an outcome of collective effort of human beings to utilize the resource of a region. The resources can be cultural or natural. The nature and type of resources available in a region is having a significant role in shaping a particular pattern to that settlement.